In the race for 13th District, Congressman Mac Thornberry is facing a former Navy officer and Vietnam veteran. Darrell Franklin has more on the Democratic challenger who believes Thornberry's lost touch with constituents, and the incumbent who says he still stands for the conservative principles that got him elected 12 terms ago.
To be really historic, we have to do a great job. And I promise you that I will not let you down. We will do a great job.
Amarillo resident Greg Sagan says he decided to run for 13th District Congress in March 2017.
Thank you very much.
Because he was alarmed at the results of the 2016 presidential election and what he says was a lurch to the right.
So we're looking at this and we're asking people what's on their minds, and sure enough, all of the things that are on their minds are the things that Congress is not doing for them. They're concerned about health care, they're concerned about immigration, they're concerned about jobs for regular people instead of the high-paying jobs. They're concerned about education and the flow of funding away from public schools and toward charter schools and other private schools. And these are major concerns.
Congressman Mac Thornberry has never seriously been challenged by his Republican opponents and rarely by any of the Democrats since his first election in '94. He's now ranked 55th in seniority in the House. He says that, along with being chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, is a huge benefit for his constituents.
Because for the first time in history, actually, a Texan is able to chair the Armed Services Committee. That's important to our district, but it's also an important opportunity to help shape the direction of the country, and I want to make the most of that opportunity on behalf of the people I work for.
Thornberry says he supports full-heartedly the Second Amendment protection of gun rights.
I also believe we ought to enforce the laws that we have. And one of the important things that Congress has done in this term was to tighten up some of the loopholes where people were getting around existing law. And it was true for the military, where the military was not reporting to the national database all of those who were convicted under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Once we start digging into that, we find that local governments are also not reporting all of the criminal convictions.
I have been around guns all my life. I own guns. I have a license to carry a gun. I have been on the Navy match pistol team in the Philippines. I have no problem with guns, but I do draw the line in a place where a lot of conservative Republicans don't. I don't think that the what's called the .223 Swift round should be legal, and any gun that fires it. I don't think any private citizen has a need for an automatic weapon or a silencer or a magazine that holds 30 or more rounds.
Sagan believes the Trump tax cuts have not been a good thing for the American people, while Congressman Thornberry disagrees.
Depends on how much money you make. It's been a good thing for rich corporations and individuals. But as somebody who's trained in economics, I could tell as soon as that bill went through what was going to happen. A corporation that rewards its CEO on the basis of profitability was going to see that windfall of cash, and he was going to do these things with it. He was going to pay extra dividends to stockholders. That drives the price of stock up. He's going to purchase back stock and turn it into what's called treasury stock. That's going to drive the price of stock up. And he was going to pay bonuses to his key executives. And that's pretty much what happened.
I think there's no question the tax cut has been very good for all Americans and the American economy. For the first time, maybe ever, we have more jobs available than there are people unemployed. And if you just look across the economy in sector after sector, in measurement after measurement, it's doing really well.
As far as those record low unemployment numbers,
I think it can tie back more to the immigration stance we've taken. When we start flushing all of these dreamers out of our society, when we start sending people who are legal immigrants or even illegal immigrants who hold jobs here, we send them back to their countries of origin, then that opens up a lot of jobs for a lot of people. And so you see that reflected in the unemployment rate.
I know of no evidence that supports such a thing. If you look at how many jobs are created, new jobs created, then you can clearly see that the economy is growing, businesses are expanding. And, you know, we see that and even in Texas. So I think the evidence is pretty clear that because of regulatory relief and because of tax relief, people have more money, can keep more of their own money, and the economy is benefiting.
Sagan says he believes the 13th district is not so much a Republican district as an apathetic voting district because 70% of registered voters did not vote in 2016. Democrats did not even have a candidate, as has been the case in 3 of the last 4 elections. Sagan believes he can break through, but that's an uphill battle, as so many challengers have found through the years. In the district, the Cook Partisan Index scores as the most Republican in the entire country.
And Greg Sagan of Amarillo also points out his strong military ties. While serving on active duty, Sagan says he was on the commissioning crew of the USS Frederick, and he served on the staff of commander of the U.S. Naval Forces in the Philippines. Additionally, Sagan is the son of a World War II veteran who served in China and the grandson of a World War I veteran who served in France. William Thornberry, better known as Mac, has long and deep ties in his district. The town of Thornberry is named for his great-great-grandfather, Amos, a pioneer who helped establish the first orchards there. And Thornberry's family has ranched in the Texas Panhandle since the 1800s. Since his upset of the Democratic incumbent in 1994, Thornberry's been climbing the House seniority ladder. He's now 55th in seniority of all members and 20th of all Republicans. With seniority comes power, influence, sound bites on national news shows, and seats on the most desired committee. Don't go away. One last word after the break.